This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel at 5 in 10, thank you. Thank you. Please subscribe, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and then stick around. After the break, we'll tell you how to guarantee we never get canceled. Item number 5 again today is Lebanon, as another Hezbollah commander was taken out by an IDF airstrike. This confirmed by an IDF spokesman, Ibrahim Kabisi, who was commander of the missile and rocket array of Hezbollah, was killed during an attack on Beirut. Kabisi was basically he was the man when it came to Hezbollah's rocket launching capabilities, both before and during this war. Air Force fighter jets attacked a suburb of Beirut, killed Kabisi and other key commanders of that missile unit during an airstrike on Monday. Still waiting for confirmation about the commander of the Southern Front, Ali Karaki, reportedly the number 3 man in the military chain of command under Hassan Nasrallah, who's the Secretary General of Hezbollah. The other 2, Fuad Shukr and Ibrahim Akil, both taken out by the IDF in recent weeks. If Karaki is gone, this would just further isolate Hassan Nasrallah, who's facing a serious choice, probably the most intense choice he's had to make since taking over command of Hezbollah. His money comes from Iran, and Iran now wants Hezbollah to basically pay back Iran for all the aid they've received over the years. The problem is, if he turns his back on Iran, he loses his funding. But at the same time, if he fulfills his commitments to Iran, he loses Lebanon, because most of the people of Lebanon are not part of Hezbollah, and they're not really eager to get involved in a full-fledged war with Israel, which is apparently what Iran wants for all of the funding it sent to Hezbollah over the years. Attacks on northern Israel continued Tuesday. Hundreds of missiles and drones launched from Hezbollah targets, or from Hezbollah areas in Lebanon into northern Israel. In fact, I was interviewing a senior reporter for Israel 365 News Tuesday morning, Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz, and just as we had concluded our interview, he'll be my guest on my personal podcast this coming Sunday, by the way, A View from the Bunker. And just as we were wrapping up, the sirens went off. Now, Adam and his family live in Katzrin, which is on the Golan Heights. Sharon and I have been there several times. We had falafel there last spring. They've got less than 30 seconds to get to a shelter when the sirens go off. And we concluded the interview, but you will see and hear the sirens. You'll see Adam run. You hear the sirens at the end of the interview. And because the connection was still open, I could tell he wasn't joking. Less than 30 seconds later, you could hear the explosions in the background. Now, no damage, no injuries. He came back and said everyone was fine. This was not even a particularly close explosion. They've had some so close that the windows in the house rattled. But his home, like most of those built in Katzrin, are in fact built as bomb shelters, which he jokes makes hanging pictures on the wall particularly difficult. But that's the reality of living in northern Israel, and that's why 60,000 Israelis have been refugees inside their own country since last October, thanks to these Hezbollah missiles. Meanwhile, Lebanese citizens taking Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's warning to get out of the way seriously. Traffic jams along the routes leading northward from the Israeli border, stretching for miles. Some vehicles running out of fuel as they try to get away from Hezbollah target sites. Again, Netanyahu and the IDF warning Lebanese citizens, get away from the areas where you know Hezbollah is operating, because they will become military targets. And again, Lebanese streaming northwards to get away from what is looking more and more like an imminent all-out war. Topic number 4, Gaza. Same thing happening there. Netanyahu telling lawmakers that he's considering the so-called general's plan to lay total siege to northern Gaza and expel all of its Palestinian residents. This reported by the Times of Israel on Monday. Retired Major General Giora Eiland presented the plan last week. He claimed it would change the reality on the ground in Gaza, basically saying they need to tell Gazans, evacuate the territory, which then becomes a military zone in which every figure is a target, and more importantly, no supplies get into the territory. As we told you the other day, Hamas has been stealing humanitarian aid intended for the citizens of Gaza and have used it to raise $500 million by reselling this aid to citizens in Gaza. And with this, they've added 3,000 new fighters to its payroll in northern Gaza. This plan, basically to fence off northern Gaza, tells citizens to get out. Anyone who's left becomes a target, is intended to change that reality. Israel national broadcaster Khan reported Sunday that Netanyahu, in a closed-door meeting with the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee, said the plan makes a lot of sense. In October, a document leaked that was issued by Israel's Ministry of Intelligence recommended transferring all of the 2.3 million inhabitants of Gaza to the Sinai Peninsula under control of Egypt. Basically, move them out there and then ensuring they would not be able to return to Gaza. This document recommending that Israel evacuates all of Gaza to the Sinai, establish tent cities, then build new cities there. This proposal was actually put forward to the Arabs of Gaza decades ago. Let's use technology to make the desert bloom the way Israel has made the Negev desert bloom and have your own independent area there. But they weren't interested then. They may be forced to accept something like this now. The whole point being to get the Palestinian Arabs away from Israel's border and solve the problem by removing the proximity. Doesn't seem workable, but certainly the status quo isn't workable either. Topic number 3, the Middle East. United States sending an undefined number of troops to the Middle East in response to the spike in violence between Israel and Hezbollah. Major General Pat Ryder, press secretary for the Pentagon, wouldn't say how many more troops are going to the region, but we've now got about 40,000 there. But remember, Kamala Harris said not one is in an active war zone. You may have seen the video of U.S. troops in Iraq responding to that, watching it in real time and fact-checking it in real time. Where the bleep does she think we are? Remember, we've got troops on the ground in Syria, despite President Obama's promise that we would never have boots on the ground in Syria. Current National Security Spokesman John Kirby, then a Pentagon spokesperson, having to try to explain how having soldiers in Syria is not having boots on the ground in Syria. I guess they're all wearing sneakers. Anyway, the USS Harry Truman aircraft carrier, 2 Navy destroyers and a cruiser set sail from Norfolk. They are headed to Europe. Opens the possibility that the United States will have 2 aircraft carrier groups. The Abraham Lincoln is already in the Arabian Sea, in the Gulf, or in that area, in case more violence breaks out. Topic number 2, nuclear power. It is making a comeback. Could be getting a boost from some of the world's largest banks, more than a dozen of them. They are pledging support to new projects aimed at bringing back global nuclear energy, trying to triple the amount of nuclear capacity by the middle of this century. In other words, within the next 25 years. Financial Times reporting that the White House climate policy advisor John Podesta, he's still part of the swamp, 14 of the world's largest banks and financial institutions, including the Bank of America, Barclays, BNP Paribas, Citi, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, all expected to support a COP28 declaration outlined late last year to triple nuclear energy capacity by 2050. And in fact, this news comes just days after the owner of the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant near Middletown, Pennsylvania, said they plan to invest $1.6 billion to put it back online, and then signed a 20-year deal with Microsoft to sell the energy generated to Microsoft. They need more low-cost green energy for its regional artificial intelligence data centers. And AI is driving this demand. And I'll tell you, they want green energy, but you're not going to get it from wind or solar, which is green-ish, but it's not reliable. And AI demands reliable sources of power. So if we're not going to burn coal, we're not going to burn natural gas, guess what's left? Nuclear. Coming up, police in Calgary need help in more ways than one. I'll explain next on 5 and 10.
We want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new work in the Carl Gallups Ultra Collection. When you order this amazing collection from the skywatchtvstore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Eyes to See, Is Our World Ready for the Coming Visitation by the legendary Pastor Carl Gallups, where for the first time ever, you'll discover what the Israel link truly is and the gravitous prophetic significance it holds in the times we're living in right now. You will learn about the real-life supernatural encounter that will open your eyes to see the spiritual realm like never before. Eyes to See will make certain you are spiritually ready for the coming visitation. And it uncovers massive treasures of astonishing insight previously hidden in Scripture and revealed specifically for our day. You'll also receive the amazing books, The Summoning, Preparing for the Coming Days of Noah, and Glimpses of Glory by Pastor Carl Gallups that take you from the Garden of Eden to Jesus' glorious return, and a cosmic collision of biblical truth that explodes to life upon the tapestry of the mind and soul. For a very limited time while supplies last, you'll also receive the Summoning Companion DVD. Join Pastor Carl Gallups for this incredible, exclusive two-part sermon. From living without fear in the midst of our prophetic age, to the questions surrounding what Jesus is telling his people through the prophecy of the fig tree and the return of Israel. This companion DVD is a must-have. These items hold a retail value of $85. Yours now for your donation of only $40, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Carl Gallups Ultra Collection.
Item number one today, Calgary police asking for help and really needing it too. They're asking for citizens to help identify a suspect in an arson case, but the way they're asking makes it clear that they actually need help in more ways than one. They're hoping that the public can help them identify this suspect, but when they posted the picture to their social media site, they fuzzed out the face. I mean, it looks like there's no face there. How do you you're going to identify it based on the sweatshirt? Yes, I saw that. It was on a mannequin at the Walmart. You see, the police think that this suspect may be a minor, and under Canadian law, the Youth Criminal Justice Act, the identity of young offenders is protected. So, Calgary police wanting to identify the suspect but not able to actually show the suspect's picture. I'm sure the police in Calgary are aware that, yes, Grace even finds this ridiculous. Bless their pointy little heads. Well, actually, we're probably getting a postal delivery. Mailman is Grace's mortal enemy. We like Tony. He's a nice guy. Anyway, Carl Gallups continues as our guest on Skywatch TV this week. We discuss his book, Eyes to See. The question being, is the world ready for a coming visitation? Jaw-dropping like everything Carl does. Watch the program right now at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always there. You can also catch it over the broadcast schedule. Our partner Christian networks, skywatchtv.com/channels is where you'll find the schedule. Grace, Tony's a good guy. He's all right. You can also catch it on our set-top box. If you've got the Skywatch TV channel added to Roku or Apple TV, you can also catch it over the internet, youtube.com/@skywatchtelevision, rumble.com/skywatchtv. Better yet, make sure we never get canceled by downloading the app to your smartphone or tablet. It is available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire devices. It is free, and we have links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. Follow 5 in 10 online. You'll find us at YouTube at 5 in 10, X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch with Grace the Rescue Dog. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.